What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we're going to be jumping into our first 10 FUT Champs game. We're going to be talking about good gameplay and bad gameplay and some interesting discussions I had with Inception the other day, and maybe a link to the video about that so you can get a little bit more context about what I'm talking about. And I think we do some marquee matchups in and around here as well, and open some silver packs. So a whole big video dedicated to Ultimate Team. Fancy that. Ultimate Team video on a channel that produces Ultimate Team content. Amazing. So first things first, guys. The focus point of FIFA discussion right now is handicap scripting and momentum. It's just everywhere. I go onto Reddit and every other thread is about either handicap scripting or momentum, or someone saying, can't believe I conceded this, can't believe this happened, can't believe that happened. I go into the forums, it's not the same thing because EA literally ban you if you talk about it on the forums, so there's that. And I get tweeted an inordinate amount of times, explain this, NepentheZ. If you don't believe in scripting, explain this. What is this? It's a dude that just didn't take his chances. I understand fully that you can play good FIFA and get unlucky, right? And I've had it myself. There have been so many games where I felt like I deserved to win, I felt like I did enough to win, and I felt like I did the same thing as what I usually do, and it just didn't go my way. But that's FIFA, man. Like, FIFA's a video game. Like, FIFA's a game where you control one of 11 players in a game, and the rest of it is AI controlled. Things are going to happen on a whim, different on a game-to-game basis, even if you do the same thing, because the AI, it works off of RNG, random number generator. You know, when a player has, I don't know, 90 interceptions, that's not 99 interceptions, and it's not 50 interceptions. So when you're controlling your one centre-back and your other centre-back sticks a leg out to try and intercept a ball, if he has 90 interceptions, you know, you could argue that 9 times out of 10 he would get that interception correctly, which means 1 times out of 10 he's not going to. And the way it feels on FIFA is that in that 1 time out of 10, it's always the game that you lose to that shit kid. It just is, and it's how it feels. So some point that I would just want to make, and I want to make massively, and I was watching #Harry today because he does a fantastic series where he uses the bronze players in FUT Champions, and he's incredibly witty, by the way. I really suggest you go check him out. Like, he's a phenomenal YouTuber, and he is incredible at FIFA, and he doesn't believe in handicap, momentum, scripting, bronze benching, or anything like that either. So I guess maybe I sympathise, or not sympathise, that's not the right word. I kind of like, I just understand him. I understand, you know, maybe I put more belief into his words just because we have like very same outlook on quite a few things. But what was my point with that? Anyway, I was watching #Harry and he was talking about it as well, and you know, he was talking about how in real world football there is a lot of garbage that goes on. You see really trashy goals. You see teams that shouldn't winning games. You know, you see teams where, like, literally a team will batter another team and they'll come out on a 1-0 or 2-0 loss, and you'll see 45th and 90th minute goals, because 45th minute and the 90th minute are the longest minutes. So, you know, it's mathematically accurate that there would be more goals. And one point that he made in this video, which I think is very, very relevant, is that in the 45th and the 90th minute, specifically the 90th minute, your opponent, if they're losing, needs to get back in the game. So they're going to play different. They're going to go all out attack or ultra attacking, which not only then gives them a bigger chance of scoring, it gives you a bigger chance of countering them and scoring yourself, because it's you know, they've left themselves exposed to try and get back into the match. So again, it just trends towards the reason why the 45th minute and 90th minute goals come a little bit more than normal. But what you've got to remember is you play 40 games in a weekend league, right? 40 games, and you are one person. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people playing 40 games a weekend. Well, for argument's sake, we'll say tens of thousands. So you are looking at 400,000 or more matches on a weekend where there is the scope for a lot of bullshit to happen. Whereas in real life, in a typical Premiership weekend, you're going to see how many matches? You're going to see 20 matches at most, sometimes 15 matches, 10 matches. So, no, 10 matches at most. 20. Where am I getting 20 matches from? Idiota. You're going to see 10 matches at most in the BPL. Sometimes 8, 7, 6 games, on a Saturday. So, of course, it's going to, like, the nonsense is going to seemingly happen more in FIFA than it does in real life. It's just logic. It's just logic. So, I just wanted to, like, kind of get that out there right now, right? I just wanted to get out there. And then, on that note, I had a really huge discussion with Inception about things. I don't think he believes in gameplay, scripting, or momentum either, but he believes heavily in good gameplay and bad gameplay, and he believes that during good gameplay, which is where it feels responsive and fast, I guess, he believes the game is like entirely skill-based, and when it's bad gameplay, where it feels a little more unresponsive and slow and laggy, he doesn't necessarily believe it's skill-based because it takes away a lot of the skill factor. And whilst I don't necessarily disagree with that, what I would disagree with is the fact that it takes away skill factor to the point where it's a non-entity. I believe that if you're in bad gameplay, and I feel heavy gameplay, in fact, all of these 10 games that I played here today, I didn't enjoy them because the gameplay, it just felt sluggish and slow. That's not EA trying to do anything or be any way or trying to make me lose or forcing me to play harder to win. It's just a bad connection. It might be my connection, it might be my ISP on this occasion, it might be FIFA servers are overloaded with a whole bunch of new people getting FIFA for Christmas. It might just be that their servers are just like having problems, Okay, they're dedicated servers, but dedicated servers does not mean 100% full uptime effective servers. It's not what it means. So I was not enjoying this gameplay, even though I was winning consistently. Very nice. I was winning a lot of games here, as like with my normal amount of games that I win, but I wasn't enjoying the gameplay because it felt slow and sluggish. However, Inception's belief is that when it feels slow and sluggish, it removes a lot of the skill factor. My belief is when it feels slow and sluggish, it's on you as the gamer, as the player, to make the adjustments to know that you're gonna, like, if you know you're going through slow gameplay or sluggish gameplay, you've got to change to accommodate that. If you know it, like, if you know that you're struggling because this, that, and the other, change it. So I personally believe the skill factor is still relevant, but Inception doesn't. But we have a far more detailed conversation about that on Inception's channel. If I can remember, I'll leave the link to the video. If not, literally just type in NepentheZ Inception handicap or something like that into YouTube and you will find it, no problemo at all. So we start off with a penalty win there after our rage quit win the first game, and that game was tough, man. Like, those penalties, that dude chipped it every time. I'd saved 2 of his first 3 and scored all 3 of mine. I just needed to score 1 more, and I blew it, guys. I blew it. But I ended up winning the penalty shootout anyway, and that was a game that finished 3-3. I edged the game. I didn't necessarily deserve to bat him or anything. I edged the game, but I hated it. I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying the way the game was playing. Anyway, some comments. Now, I've tried to pick a lot of comments that aren't to do with scripting, handicap, and momentum because it's something that's died to death. But where I feel like I can offer information to stop the confusion from certain things, I will do. And the first comment I'm going to read comes from unnamed user, and that's not me just not wanting to name him, that's actually his name. His name is unnamed user. He says, although I agree on pretty much everything you say, and I feel like you have the best brain on YouTube, FIFA brain, he says, I appreciate that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I just try and call it how I see it. He says, I disagree with his statement on chem styles. And this isn't the only one about chem styles either. He says, take Jonas SBC, for example. He has 76 pace. Give him a hunter card, he will increase to 88 pace with 92 acceleration. I understand your analogy on the 85 rated card and the 90 rated, but they're similar stats and not far off 76 pace, and 88 pace is a massive improvement. In the same pace as Lacazette's SBC, and he has lower acceleration than Jonas with a hunter. I doubt you'll do it, but if you play 5 matches with Jonas SBC with a hunter and Lacazette with a sentinel for 5 matches, example, so it doesn't affect pace or agility stat, although they have the same pace and Jonas has significantly higher acceleration, Lacazette will be faster, I'm 1,000 or 10,000% sure. You can't just say that you're sure and that be fact, first and foremost, right? You can't be like, I'm just sure I'm sure he's faster, right? You can't just say you're sure he's faster, right? Because otherwise you said you're 10,000% sure that Lacazette's faster. Well, I'm 100,000% sure that he's not. Does that make me right? Of course it doesn't make me right. But I looked at the in-game stats. Now, first thing I want to do is take us to a guide from FIFA 12 that talks about the agility stat, because this is important. And I want to explain sprint speed and acceleration as well. So agility reads as Players with high agility can perform acrobatic shots or clearances. Irrelevant here. And agility also affects dribbling ability. If you're a player who likes to run with the ball, agility is one of the stats to keep the eye on. The higher, the better. It goes on to say, where is it? So acceleration this is purely about how long it takes a player to reach his top speed. So acceleration is just how long it takes for your player to reach his sprint speed, right? Relevant. So it needs to be considered alongside the sprint speed stat. Some players have high acceleration rating and only average sprint speed. So in this case, acceleration becomes almost irrelevant. It's no good getting to your top speed really quickly if that top speed really isn't very quick. Now, I can't remember where I read it, but I read something about agility in this thing here. I read this about agility being important for sprint speed and acceleration. And in sprint speed, it says you don't need any explanation here, I'm sure. As with the attributes above, remember that sprint speed is in isolation is less effective. It needs to be combined with acceleration, agility, balance, and reactions. So sprint speed is relevant to acceleration, which is how quickly they get to their sprint speed, which by the word of this article is not that relevant if they have a low sprint speed. It's no point being super quick off the mark if you're not very fast in general. And then the other important stats that you need for sprint speed are acceleration, agility, balance, and reactions. They all combine to making a player feel better, right? So when we look at Jonas with a Hunter card, he has 88 pace. And when we look at the SBC Lacazette, without any, like you say, like with the Sentinel, for example, he also has 88 pace. So let me actually throw the Sentinel on him so I know that I'm talking sense here. So what you now get is Jonas has 92 acceleration to the 85 acceleration of Lacazette. Jonas has more acceleration, sure. I don't dispute that. What I dispute first and foremost is that the difference between 92 and 85 isn't that large, right? As I explained in the last video, I don't think it's to the point where you're like, oh my god, 92 to 85, he should be like 10 times faster. Like, at best, he is 7% of 100 faster. So 7% in the grand scheme of things isn't really that big. Jonas has 84 sprint speed. Even with the Hunter, he has 84 sprint speed, whereas Lacazette has 89 sprint speed. So to go back to your initial comment that Lacazette will be faster, he will be faster. But not because chem styles don't work, but because he's faster. So as per that article, there's no point Jonas having 92 acceleration if he can only get up to 84 sprint speed, when Lacazette has 85 acceleration, but he gets up to 89 sprint speed. So at their fastest, even though they both have 88 pace on the card, at their fastest, Lacazette is actually faster in game. Now we go to the next part. We look at agility, balance, and what was the other one? Was it reactions? Agility, balance, and reactions. So Jonas has 86 agility compared to the 91 of Lacazette. Jonas has 70 balance compared to the 88 of Lacazette. And Jonas has 90 reactions compared to the 88 of Lacazette. So Lacazette is only 2 less points in reactions, but significantly more balance from 70 to 88, and more agility from 86 to 91. So in the article from EA explaining how and why sprint speed, acceleration and such are important, Lacazette is head and shoulders above Jonas with a Hunter card. No question about it. Like you can't dispute it. So when we go back to your comment is that you don't think chemistry styles do anything. It's because you're not looking at what they're actually doing. And this is something that I'm trying to point out to people with when they apply chem styles. For example, a lot of people put the Maestro chem style on players because what they do is they go to foothead, and we'll take Jonas again. If you put Maestro on Jonas, he goes up to 96 dribbling, 95 shooting, and 90 passing. Wow, that looks amazing, right? Wrong. When you actually look at the grand scheme of what the Maestro chem style does, it boosts his reactions, his ball control, and his dribbling stat, right? It doesn't boost his agility or balance, which, as we've discovered from that page that we've just read, that kind of like information, agility and balance are actually really, really important stats in this game. Reactions are also important. It does boost that. Ball control, I don't think the ball control it offers is that important because it offers 93 ball control compared to 98. Like, it only boosts it by 5. When you look at the passing, it boosts his passing up to 95. Wow, right? Wrong, again, in my opinion. It only boosts his long passing by 5, so it takes it from 79 to 84. And the fact that his crossing is 80 as well means he's actually, like, if you're using him to, like, cross the ball or try, like, hitting long balls, he's going to be useless for you. It boosts his short passing from 85 to 95, and I stand by this fact that I don't necessarily believe the passing stat in that instance is that important. Like, if you've got 85 passing on a player, as long as you, the person actually pressing the buttons, makes the right choices, angles your person properly, isn't holding the sprint button, applies the appropriate amount of power for the pass to get to where you're going to go, you're going to make those passes regardless of whether it's 85 or 95 passing. It also boosts his free kicks by 10. Why are you boosting his free kicks? That's irrelevant. Unless you're taking free kicks with him and you actually want to boost his free kicks. Boosting his free kicks is irrelevant. And then what it does for shooting is again quite unimportant. It boosts his volleys by 10. How many volleys have you scored this year in FIFA? Be honest. For me, one. One volley. That's it. To memory. Maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 10. But I've scored thousands of goals and I can remember one volley. So it boosts the stats that just aren't that important. So when people put a Maestro card on a player like Jonas or like a midfielder and they're like, wow, he's got like 90 this, 90 that, 90 the other, and then they're like, why is he playing so bad? I felt, this player A felt better than player B with a Maestro. Well, it's probably because you've boosted the wrong stats. I'm trying to not educate people because I think that's the wrong mentality to have because I don't know everything, right? I want to say that now. I only go based off of my own opinions and the information that I can pick up and gather from all the literature that we have out there, right? So I've decided that the best way for me to play FIFA is to ignore the stats that are important on the players that I'm controlling and boost the stats that are important on the players that I'm not. Which is why I've started putting Shadow Chem style on all my defenders, some of my midfielders, and pretty much Hunter for all of the strikers, because the Hunter Chem style, let's go back to the Lacazette real quick. Hunter Chem style, although it doesn't boost shooting as much as you may want it to, and you waste, like Hunter gets Lacazette to 95 shooting on his face stat, and Hawk gets Lacazette to 95 shooting, right? So you're probably sitting there thinking, why waste the Hunter card when you could get that bonus physical for nothing? Well, that's not true. With Hawk, he gets 99 positioning, 97 finishing, 96 shot power. With Hunter, he gets 99 positioning, 99 finishing, and 96 shot power. So he's already got better finishing. Like, his finishing goes to its maximum. His long shots with the Hawk go up to 89, whereas a Hunter with 84. However, and again, this is personal for me, I don't take long shots with Lacazette because he's my striker. He's in the box. He's not the guy that's sitting deep and waiting. He's not like my Paul Pogba or my Fernandinho or my Emre Can or my Kevin De Bruyne. He's my striker. He's the guy that's in the box, doing the work in the box. He doesn't need long shots. Hunter boosts his volleys by 10, as does Hawk, and then Hunter boosts his penalties by 11, and Hawk only 5. So, although on the face of it, it looks like the Hawk would be the better chem style, the extra boost that you get, and again, we're talking margins here, right? You get basically out of the Hunter Chem style, you get 2 extra finishing that you don't get off the Hawk. Is that really, in the grand scheme of things, going to make that much difference? No, it's not. But I do it because just in case, in that instance. The attackers are probably the worst thing to go by because, again, in the attackers instance, positioning is really, really important. Positioning, it defines, again, by this the back page thing. It says for positioning, where is it? Finishing, crossing, ball control, vision, interception. So positioning. The positioning attribute deals with a player's ability to spot open space and move into good positions that offer an attacking advantage. The higher this stat, the more likely a player is to make enough space to receive the ball in dangerous areas. So the reason why I apply the Hunter Chem style is because it boosts positioning more than the Hawk does. If we go to Lacazette's general card, his 85 card, and apply a Hunter, his positioning goes up to 99. If we apply a Hawk, his positioning only goes up to 96 because the Hawk gives plus 10 positioning and the Hunter gives plus 15 positioning. So I want to give myself the best opportunity to have an attacking threat on the players that I'm not controlling, And the best way to do that is to give them the attacking positioning stat to 99. So I give Hunter to everyone so that they make the best runs. And that could genuinely be a reason why I'm more effective than other people in very similar situations. You know, some people are like, how come my players never make those runs? Well, it may well be because I've got the chem style that boosts my players' positioning to 99, and you have one that leaves his positioning at 90. Maybe that little difference there, although, and again, I stand by the fact that I don't necessarily think that the 9 difference is going to be the be-all. I don't think that difference is going to make you a better player. I just think it's going to help with the micromanagement of the games. So that's my opinion on unnamed user's instance there. He is right. In his whole point, he is right. Lacazette with a Sentinel will 10,000% be faster than Jonas with a Hunter card. But there is a reasonable explanation to why. So there is always that. David Zaki says, hey Nep, I was wondering, do you think EA should bring back trades, but only for SBC cards and only maybe for a week? That way people could have another chance at getting who they missed out on, e.g. I missed Gamero, but I need him for a perfect link to Griezmann, so I could give away some like my unwanted David Villa to someone who wants a David Villa for him. Love you vids, keep up the good work. I've seen this comment posted several times and I've ignored it several times because it gets a lot of thumbs up, right? And I don't know why, because it seems like David Zaki is posting this comment because he's pissed off that he didn't get the Gamero and that he got David Villa that he doesn't use. And he's literally saying, I want EA to bring back SBC trades, but only for 1 week so that I can get a Gamero. I'm sorry, dude, but if you missed out on Gamero, that's your bad, man. I missed out on some players that I wish I got. And I got some players that I wish I didn't. But you just got to live with those decisions. I don't think bringing an SBC trade into the game will be something EA will do, and I don't think it's something that will be effective. It won't make the money. It won't take cards off the market. It won't benefit anyone or anything. I don't think it's something that will be... I just don't think it's an important enough feature to need in the game right now with how much we have in the game. You know? So, yeah, ultimately, no. No, I don't think that will happen, and I don't really want. I don't. If it came, sure, great. I probably wouldn't use the feature, but I don't necessarily think it's a fantastic feature. Matthias Harsland says, "Hey Nep, do you think the Ronaldo Team of the Year card will be a left wing or a striker? Keep up the good work." I personally believe it will be a striker. Ronaldo played at striker for Portugal for the whole Euros, and of course he won the Euro Championships with them. This season specifically, he has been playing as a striker mostly for Real Madrid up to December. And last season, during the back end of the season, he played a few games at striker. I would probably say that out of all of his games this year, he has played more games at striker than he has at left wing. And so with that, I would hope that EA would release him as a striker. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a left wing, but I think he will be a striker. That's my opinion. Mentally says, another long one here. How long we got left? About 10 minutes. Happy days. Hey Nep, do you think EA should or will introduce some kind of feature that will allow players to trade their SBC players that they don't want to use anymore with other players? For example, my friend has player of the month Sterling, but wants my SBC Rashford. We can just trade. This would allow people to get access to players that are no longer available. I also feel like this would create more of a community within FIFA, as it will make random people message each other after games asking if they would like to trade. I would love to know your thoughts and on this, as I feel it could be very effective. And again, this is literally like a carbon copy of the previous one. The reason why I read this one as well is because I still don't think that they should offer that. I would love to see a trade feature in the game, not directed specifically to SBCs, but the problem with trade features is it opens up a world for coin buying and selling again. Just makes it ridiculously easy, right? What I think though in terms of the SBCs is because of how many SBCs we've had and how irrelevant some of them become off the back of them getting better versions of informs or higher rated cards here, there and everywhere, I think that EA will eventually offer an SBC that requires you to trade in other SBC cards. I think that makes sense, you know. There will come a point in time where we will have loads of 90, 91, 92 rated SBCs, I assume, because of the way this is going. And so what are you going to do with that 80 rated SBC and that 81 rated Pervert and that 82 rated this guy and that 80 rated that guy? Why not trade them all in for an even better SBC? So that's where I think that would come. So I wouldn't be too keen on getting rid of my SBCs just yet. Lionel Messi says, how the F has input delay and speed up lag not been patched yet? More to the point, how is it not even being acknowledged yet? And here's the answer. EA don't care. I spoke about this on stream with Marius, and I talked about this in the video as well, but I think it's important to reiterate it. EA wouldn't, like, basically the way he explained it was, if they come out and say, we've got a problem with input delay and speed up lag, they are then saying to their consumer base, we've got a problem with the game, and that will turn people off of the game, and thus they will lose money. So by acknowledging the issue, they will likely lose money. By fixing the issue, it will cost them money to fix the issue for such a small percent of user base. Like, the casual gamer isn't us. The people that actually notice input delay are the hardcore gamers. They're such a small percentage of the actual user base that for EA to even fix this, it wouldn't even change anything, because the hardcore people are the ones with the problem, and the hardcore people are going to show up anyway and spend their money anyway. So by fixing this, it would cost them money to fix it. And again, this is my opinion. This is based off information gathered. But they're not going to fix this because it doesn't affect sales. It won't benefit them monetarily, like monetary-wise. They won't make money by fixing it. They might lose a few customers by not fixing it, but by acknowledging it, they feel that they will lose even more customers. So, yeah, I don't know. It's annoying. Hasib M. Chowdhury says, just admit that chem styles don't boost stats anywhere near as much as they say they do. You actually think Baines will have 90 plus pace? FFS, use your brain. I do use my brain, and I feel I've given very valid points, and you're asking me to admit something that I don't think is true. What do you want me to do? Just to suit you, be like, yep, you're right, bro, chem styles do nothing, moving swiftly on. I don't believe that. I believe chem styles do exactly what they say they do. I just think you are hugely misinformed or misunderstand how much of a boost you think they give. I think you think the difference between 80 pace and 90 pace should be a guy, like, you know, instead of running the 100 meters in 10 seconds, running the 100 meters in 6 seconds. That's not the case. If you got a player with 80 pace and ran from your goal line to the halfway line, and then got someone with 90 pace and ran from your goal line to the halfway line, their bodies would be almost next to each other as they crossed the line, because the difference between 80 pace and 90 pace isn't that much. And as with the Lacazette and Jonas experiment, there's more to it than just pace. Sprint speed is important, acceleration is important, agility, balance and reactions, they're all important in someone running. So just because you don't think it's effective doesn't mean that I'm wrong in thinking it's effective. I just think you are hugely misinterpreting what the difference is. And it's the same with like someone putting a Hunter on and going, oh my god, he had 88 shooting, now he has 97 shooting, but he just missed an open goal. 97 shooting isn't infinite shooting. 97 shooting isn't I'm going to score every shot I take from anywhere ever. 97 shooting is I've got the highest chance of scoring the shots that I take. That doesn't mean you're going to score the shots that you take. It means you've got the highest chance of scoring the shots that you're going to take. Remember, there's a goalkeeper, there's defenders, there's human error. There's a lot that goes into everything. I'm not going to admit that chem styles don't boost stats anywhere as near as much as they say they do, because I think they do boost stats every much as bit as they say they do. I just think that you misinterpret how much the stat boost actually equates to in-game. And that is to be proven by players like #Harry doing things with bronze players. Because by your logic, his bronze players shouldn't even score. They shouldn't even run. By your logic, his bronze players should take 10 in-game minutes to run from one end of the field to the other because they have low pace or low stamina or low agility. By your logic, his players should not be able to connect a single pass. By your logic, his players should never be able to put the ball in the back of the net because they've got 57 shooting. How can a guy with 57 shooting score? That's just illogical. No, that's not how it works. It's just not how it works. I just think you're massively misunderstanding what they do and how much impact they actually have. Tyler Glass says, how can I succeed in FIFA if I don't have time to play all the time? And it's a long comment, but it's a typical, I don't have time to get into FUT Champs and play FUT Champs. And how can you succeed in FIFA? You just got to play divisions, dude. Ultimately, it sucks, but there is nothing really there for you to be able to generate the coins and the packs that people that play FUT Champs can do. And the reason why they've done that is because they want people to play FUT Champs. They want people to buy their game and spend all weekend on their game because it entices them more to buy FIFA points and just generally buy the game and you know, gives them more market share. So in that sense, there unfortunately isn't really anything that you can do to succeed at FIFA. It's not difficult to get a team that's playable. You know, you could for 50 to 100,000 coins, you can get a team that can do really well in FUT Champs, or just really well in FIFA in general. But in terms of actually getting the things that everybody that abuses FUT Champs has, yeah, you're just out of luck, unfortunately. And it does suck, and it is an oversight on EA's part, but it does suck. Nick Bastian says, "Hey Nep, why is your squad name League One Hybrid?" I get backed out on a lot, right? And I mean a lot, and I just don't know why. My team is called Ultimate Team. I had the Chapecoense badge and kits. My established date is January 2016, so I'm a new account, but not so new that it's like, whoa, what's he doing in FUT Champs when his account's this new? But it's not old to the point where it's like, whoa, this guy's clearly a pro at FIFA. Look how long he's been playing. And my team name was FUT Champs. So I could only assume that the reason why people continually backed out on me was because my team name is FUT Champs. So I literally just changed it to League One Hybrid so that hopefully people would stop backing out. And it didn't work. I don't I have people that FUT founders and from 2010 that probably struggle to get games that back out on me. I don't know why me. I don't know if they know it's me. It's very difficult to know it's me because I have a generic team name and such. But I don't know why FUT founders and stuff back out when they struggle to get games anyway. So I don't know, man. Just so many people are scared to play people. Hugh Walsh says, despite there being no prize in the qualification tournament, it was no easier. Explanation. I think the general theory behind it was that because it would be so easy, a lot of players that were quite good and may already have been in FUT Champs wanted to go and get some easy wins, flooding the tournament with a lot of more difficult players, making it more difficult. Alternatively, maybe you're just not really that good at FIFA, and regardless of the level of quality players in there, you was going to struggle anyway. A7SE says, "Hey Nep, you have a series called the best team in FIFA. A series called the best team in FIFA. You now have one or two teams that you call the best teams. Would you say that the team you have now is the best team in FIFA?" No, probably not. There's different areas that I could improve on it. Some things to do, which is why we continually try new players in some of the positions, because I'm looking for a little extra edge here or there. I don't think the team I have is far off being the best team in FIFA. I just think it's, maybe like one or two, maybe three players short of exactly where I want it to be. And I would put that down to needing an utter sensational left back, a striker that I'm just so happy with that I never feel like changing him out, and a right wing of the same caliber. Maybe one more set, maybe like a better attacking centre midfielder as well. But other than that, I think my team is pretty damn good. We've got time for one more comment. I agree. It's Joey Ladd says, "Hi Nep, I always do what you do. I do SBCs at the same time as you, and I have a stat club. But I want to change my league to Calcio A instead of BPL, but I have no money because I've got a lot of SBC cards which I can't sell, and I don't get any coins. What should I do? Thanks in advance." Do what you did to get the coins to do those SBC cards in the first place. Then don't do SBC cards and buy Calcio A players. Job done. Also, if you've got a BPL team, you've got some sellable cards, because you can't have a full SBC BPL team because it doesn't exist. There's no goalkeeper. There's only one defender. You've got some players that you can sell to start building your Calcio A team. Alternatively, just play with that team until you've got coins to buy your Calcio A players. Job done. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.